The voice of doubt is paralyzing your deepest aspirations. Today we're going to silence it, not with ease, but with relentless pursuit of God's calling. You felt that pull, that whisper of a life beyond your current reach, a life filled with purpose, peace, and profound fulfillment. But the path to that promised land isn't paved with good intentions or fleeting inspiration. It's forged in the crucible of daily discipline, unwavering commitment, and the radical decision to outwork every single obstacle, every doubt, every voice that tells you to settle. This isn't just about achieving worldly success. It's about unlocking the divine potential God has placed within you. Realizing that your capacity for greatness is directly tied to your capacity for consistent, unyielding effort. This journey demands more than you've ever given, but it promises a transformation deeper and more rewarding than you can imagine. So often, we find ourselves caught in a cycle of aspiration and disappointment. We pray, we hope, we dream, but the tangible results remain elusive. Why? Because we've been taught that faith alone is enough, that divine intervention absolves us of the gritty, daily grind. But true faith, the kind that moves mountains, is always accompanied by action. It's not about waiting for a sudden surge of motivation. It's about cultivating habits so deeply ingrained that they carry you forward even when your emotions waver, when the spirit feels weak. We often blame circumstances, or others, or even God for our stagnation. But the truth, the raw, unvarnished truth, is that responsibility for our outcomes rests squarely on our shoulders. This isn't a condemnation, it's an invitation to reclaim your power. When you stop blaming, you start building. When you embrace accountability, you unlock the divine drive within. This journey begins not with a grand revelation, but with a simple, quiet commitment to show up every single day with a tenacity that mirrors the very purpose for which you were created. Are you ready to stop waiting and start working, not just for yourself, but as an act of worship? If you're ready to embrace this challenge, to truly step into the life God intends for you, then I invite you to join this community. Share your thoughts, your struggles, and your breakthroughs in the comments below. Let your voice be heard, and let's build this movement together. One of the greatest obstacles we face is the comfortable lie that growth should feel easy. We seek shortcuts, hoping to bypass the challenging terrain. But consider Eleanor, a gifted architect in her early 40s, whose portfolio was brimming with stunning designs, yet her actual impact felt minimal. Her days drifted, filled with distractions and the constant pursuit of inspiration, rather than disciplined execution. She'd spend hours visualizing grand projects, but the detailed, painstaking work of turning those visions into blueprints, of networking, of pitching, always seemed to elude her. Her studio was a graveyard of half-finished models and abandoned sketches. She prayed for breakthrough, for doors to open, but nothing shifted. The principle she had to learn was that true strength, like the steel beams holding up her imagined skyscrapers, is forged in the fire of resistance. It's found not in avoiding discomfort, but in leaning into it. Her breakthrough came when she realized that God wasn't just asking her to dream. He was asking her to build, brick by painstaking brick. She started small, dedicating just 2 focused hours each morning to the most challenging parts of a project, even when she didn't feel like it. That discomfort, that initial resistance, was the very friction needed to ignite her true potential, transforming her from a dreamer into a doer. What truly holds us back isn't a lack of talent or opportunity, but a lack of ruthless prioritization. We allow distractions to consume our most precious resource, time. We say we want to build a life of purpose, to deepen our faith, to achieve our goals. Yet we endlessly scroll, endlessly consume, endlessly procrastinate. Here's a surprising revelation. The enemy of your best life is not evil, but simply everything else. It's the good things that prevent the great things. Consider the story of a young man, a budding musician, who lamented his lack of progress despite spending hours practicing. He'd pick up his guitar, then check his phone, respond to messages, drift onto social media, and before he knew it, an hour had passed with only 5 minutes of focused effort. His practice was a performance for distraction, not a pursuit of mastery. The practical application is to treat your time as a sacred trust, a divine gift. Eliminate the non-essentials. Turn off notifications. Create sacred blocks of time for your most important work, whether that's prayer, studying, or building your craft. When you consciously choose to remove the clutter, you create space for God's purpose to fill your life, and you'll be astonished at how quickly your vision begins to materialize, not through some magical event, but through consistent, focused effort. The true spiritual turning point often arrives when we stop waiting for external circumstances to change and begin to transform internally. It's the moment we grasp that our God-given potential isn't activated by feeling good, but by disciplined obedience. The central biblical truth here is found in Proverbs 24:10. If you falter in a time of trouble, how small is your strength? This isn't a condemnation, but a revelation about where true strength comes from. It implies that strength is built before the trouble, through consistent, often unseen effort. It's the spiritual muscle memory you develop by showing up daily, by pushing through discomfort even when it's inconvenient. This is the transformation of the inner man, where faith isn't just a mental assent, but a muscle that grows through resistance. Eleanor, the architect, began to see her daily discipline not as a chore, but as an act of worship, a way of honoring the gifts God had given her. Each focused hour, each difficult conversation, each rejected pitch became a chisel, shaping her stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with her divine calling. She stopped waiting for inspiration to strike and started making the inspiration herself through diligent work. This new perspective shifts our focus from seeking comfort to embracing the refining fire of effort. It's the understanding that true growth happens on the other side of your comfort zone, and that God often uses the friction of our daily tasks to mold us into who we are meant to be. Consider the powerful testimony of a woman named Maria who, in her late 50s, found herself facing financial ruin after a business venture failed spectacularly. She could have crumbled, given up, or become bitter. Instead, remembering a sermon about perseverance, she decided to view her setback not as an ending, but as a crucible. She started over. Not with grand gestures, but with small, consistent actions. Researching, learning new skills, networking, reaching out to old contacts, even when her pride urged her to retreat. Each small daily step, each moment of pushing, through the pain of past failure, became a testament to her unyielding faith. Her new business, built from the ashes of the old, flourished beyond anything she had imagined, precisely because she had learned the invaluable lesson of relentless, consistent effort in the face of adversity. This isn't just about resilience. It's about understanding that God's plan often unfolds through our persistent labor, not just in spite of it. So, how do we translate this into practical daily steps? First, commit to continuous daily improvement, even in the smallest increments. Think of your life as a magnificent garden. It doesn't transform overnight, but through consistent weeding, watering, and nurturing. What one small thing can you do today that moves you closer to your purpose, closer to God, closer to becoming the person you are meant to be? Second, track your progress honestly. Just as a builder measures the foundation, you must measure your efforts. This isn't about judgment, but about self-awareness, identifying areas where you can push harder, be more consistent, or simply show up. Third, strategically surround yourself with individuals who demand excellence and foster growth. Your environment profoundly shapes your potential. Seek out those who inspire you to be better, who challenge your complacency, and who celebrate your relentless pursuit of God's best. This isn't just about professional networking. It's about building a spiritual fellowship that uplifts and sharpens you. Imagine a life where every day you are not just living, but actively building a legacy, honoring the divine blueprint within you. The journey we've discussed today is not for the faint of heart. It demands a radical shift from passive waiting to active, disciplined stewardship of your God-given potential. We've seen how Eleanor transformed from a dreamer to a doer by embracing consistent effort, and how Maria rebuilt her life by seeing setbacks as crucibles for growth. This is the truth. Your dream life, the one God has envisioned for you, is not a lottery ticket you hope to win. It is a masterpiece you are called to build, day by relentless day. Every early morning, every late night, every moment you choose discipline over comfort. You are laying another brick in that foundation. You are demonstrating not just your commitment to yourself, but your unwavering faith in the one who called you. Remember, the pain of discipline is temporary, but the regret of quitting is permanent. The glory of a life lived fully, intentionally, and in alignment with divine purpose is eternal. So rise up, embrace the grind, outwork the doubt, outwork the fear. Outwork everyone else, not out of competition, but out of a profound commitment to steward the gifts God has bestowed upon you. This is your moment. This is your calling. Take the first step today, and let's witness the incredible transformation that unfolds. If this message resonated with you, I would be honored if you would consider subscribing to our channel and sharing your own journey of discipline and faith in the comments. Your story might be the very spark someone else needs to begin their own ascent.